Welcome to CVR English News. This is Shekinah bringing you the latest world updates. Let's get started. A massive explosion rocked Beirut on Saturday as Israel intensified its airstrikes targeting Hezbollah positions. And the attack marks a significant escalation in the ongoing conflict between Israel and the militant group. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu condemned French President Emmanuel Macron's call to halt arms shipments to Israel, labeling it a disgrace. And Netanyahu further asserted that Israel will win with or without their support, criticizing Western leaders advocating for an arms embargo amid the ongoing Gaza conflict.
As Israel fights the forces of barbarism led by Iran, all civilized countries should be standing firmly by Israel's side. President Macron and some other Western leaders are now calling for an arms embargo against Israel. Shame on them. Countries who supposedly oppose the stair axis call for an arms embargo on Israel. What a disgrace. Israel will fight until the battle is won. As Israel fights the forces of barbarism led by Iran, all civilized countries should be standing firmly by Israel's side. Yet President Macron and some other Western leaders are now calling for an arms embargo against Israel. Shame on them. Is Iran imposing an arms embargo on Hezbollah, on the Houthis, on Hamas, and on its other proxies? Of course not. The axis of terror stands together. But countries who supposedly oppose the stair axis call for an arms embargo on Israel. What a disgrace. Well, let me tell you this. Israel will win with or without their support. But their shame will continue long after the war is won. For in defending ourselves against this barbarism, Israel is defending civilizations against those who seek to impose a dark age of fanaticism on all of us. Rest assured, Israel will fight until the battle is won, for our sake and for the sake of the peace and security of the entire world. As Israel fights the forces of barbarism led by Iran,
on the sidelines of the Francophonie summit in Paris, French President Emmanuel Macron met bilaterally with Rwandan President Paul Kagame. The summit marks the first time in 33 years that France has hosted the 19th Francophonie summit, gathering dozens of heads of states, particularly from African nations. And the meeting between Macron and Kagame highlights the strengthening of diplomatic ties and discussions on shared interests, including economic cooperation, security, and cultural exchange within the Francophone community. The summit serves as a platform for promoting French language and culture while addressing global issues affecting member states.
Morning, sir.
Morning. Good morning, President.
Bonjour, messieurs, dames. Thank you for your praise.
Pas trop près.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci bien, messieurs, dames.
Merci, messieurs, dames.
Merci bien, messieurs, dames.
Donald Trump returned to the Pennsylvania fairgrounds, the site of a near assassination attempt in July, rallying a large crowd to secure an election day victory. He linked the urgency of the support to his survival from the shooting, framing the election as not just a political battle but a personal one. Trump's speech resonated with his supporters, emphasizing resilience and the need for collective action to ensure his continued presence in the political landscape.
Towards an immigration chart that he was looking at when the gunfire began, just as he had suggested he would weeks beforehand. Standing behind a protective glass that now encases the stage at all his outdoor rallies, Trump called the would-be assassin a vicious monster and that he did not succeed by the grace of God.
For 16 harrowing seconds during the gunfire, time stopped as this vicious monster unleashed pure evil from his sniper's perch, not so far away. But by the hand of providence and the grace of God, that villain did not succeed in his goal, did not come close. He did not stop our movement. He did not break out our spirit. He did not shake our unyielding resolve to save America from evils of poverty, hatred, and destruction.
At 6:11 p.m., the exact time when gunfire erupted on July 13, Trump called for a moment of silence. A bell then tolled 4 times, once for each of the 4 victims, including Trump. The crowd appeared to be in the tens of thousands, many wearing Trump regalia. Some chanted the "Fight, Fight, Fight" slogan Trump used to rally his followers moments after he was shot. Meanwhile, among those attending was Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla and owner of social media platform X. It was his first time at a Trump campaign event since he endorsed the former president after July 13.
Hi, everyone.
The true test of someone's character is how they behave under fire, Musk said, calling the election a must-win situation for Trump and urging the crowd to register to vote. Meanwhile, Trump's opponent, Kamala Harris, on Saturday was in North Carolina meeting first responders and people hit by Hurricane Helene, which killed at least 220 as it ripped through the southeast. Trump has criticized the federal response, alleging without evidence that the administration wrongly redirected relief funds to migrants towards an immigration chart that he was looking at when the gunfire began.
A pro-Palestinian demonstration has begun in Sydney with thousands of gatherings at Hyde Park ahead of protest march as the Israel-Hamas war in Gaza approaches its 1-year anniversary. The event reflects growing sentiments among activists advocating for Palestinian rights and raises awareness about the ongoing conflict. Participants are likely to express their solidarity with Gaza and call for peace and justice in the region. On Sunday morning, billows of smoke were observed rising from Beirut's southern suburbs after a night of intense Israeli strikes. Official Lebanese media reported that these strikes, which occurred late Saturday into Sunday, were among the most violent, with media correspondents noting explosions lasting for over 2 hours. The scale of the bombardment reflects the escalating tensions in the region, raising concerns about the humanitarian impact and the ongoing conflict between Israel and militant groups in Lebanon. Rescue teams are actively clearing debris and searching for the missing in the village of Donja Jabalinkia, located about 50 kilometers south of Sarajevo, Bosnia and Herzegovina. This follows a torrential downpour on October 4 that triggered a significant landslide, engulfing dozens of houses in the early hours of the morning. The heavy rains caused widespread destruction, prompting emergency response efforts to locate survivors and provide assistance to affected residents. Authorities are focused on assessing the full extent of the damage and ensuring the safety of those still in the area. During a surprise appearance in the White House briefing room, President Joe Biden expressed confidence that the 2024 election will be free and fair, but voiced concerns about the potential for unrest. He emphasized the importance of upholding democratic processes while acknowledging the challenges posed by heightened political tensions, and Biden's remarks underscore a growing apprehension about the election environment, reflecting broader national concerns over political polarization and the possibility of civil unrest surrounding the election outcomes.
The election is a month away. One, I'd like to know how you're feeling about how this election is going, and then also, do you have confidence that it will be a free and fair election and that it will be peaceful?
Two separate questions.
Very much.
I'm confident it'll be free and fair. I don't know whether it'll be peaceful. The things that Trump has said and the things that he said last time out when he didn't like the outcome of the election were very dangerous. If you notice, I noticed that the vice presidential Republican candidate did not say he'd accept the outcome of the election. They haven't even accepted the outcome of the last election. So I'm concerned about what they're going to do.
Are you making any preparations, getting security briefings related to domestic security?
I always get those briefings.
All right, guys, that's it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Do you want to reconsider dropping out of the race?
I'm back in.
The race between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump is shaping up to be highly competitive, with the vice president maintaining a slight lead in recent polls. Media has gathered insights from voters and political experts highlighting various factors that could influence the election's outcome. Voter sentiment appears divided, with concerns over key issues such as the economy, healthcare and social justice playing significant roles in shaping opinions. Experts suggest that turnout will be crucial, particularly among young voters and minority groups. As the election date approaches, the dynamics may shift, making it essential for both candidates to effectively engage with the bases and address pressing voter concerns.
With a month left until the November 5th US presidential election, voters and experts speaking to Reuters agree it's going to be a tight race between former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris. In Arizona, where a Bloomberg poll Friday says Harris holds a razor-thin lead, voters shared with Reuters which issues were most important to them.
1 month ahead of the election, I'm voting for Kamala Harris, happily. I want a president who's going to tell the truth, work together to solve problems, and I think that's the most important thing for me.
The main thing for me is immigration and inflation in the economy, so I'm going to vote for Donald Trump.
In Maryland, some voters wanted to see a historic change.
I want to see a woman president. I want to see an example of a leader in a position of power.
Others were skeptical.
If you put Kamala Harris up there, or if you put, Biden again, or whatever, they're just the same person. It's just another person in a suit or a pantsuit in her case, just telling me, things I either want or don't want to hear. And nobody ever, respects their policies that they push for anyway.
According to the latest Reuters Ipsos poll conducted over 3 days and published Tuesday, Harris leads Trump 47% to 40%. But the poll says Trump still has a lead in some measures of confidence in economic issues.
Historically, the economy has been the biggest factor affecting elections.
Political analyst Darrell M. West, a senior fellow at the Brookings Institution, says focusing on economic issues carries even more weight in Midwestern states.
In general, that part of the country has lagged behind the East Coast and the West Coast in economic well-being. So even though the unemployment rate is low, people have a sense that the economy is not working well for them. They personally are not doing well, and this creates a lot of anxiety on their part about the future.
Americans are also split on immigration and reproductive rights, with one issue favoring Republicans and the other issue favoring Democrats.
The stakes of this election are very high. America is divided into two tribes. Neither tribe trusts the other tribe. They're very suspicious of the motives. They think the other side wants to destroy the kind of America that they love.
West says the Democrats have gained a lot of momentum over the last 2 months.
Chinatown activists in Philadelphia have railed to oppose the proposed development of new arena for the Philadelphia 76 ERS. And the activists expressed concerns that the arena could negatively impact the local community, including potential displacement of residents and businesses. They argue that the project may disrupt the cultural and historical integrity of Chinatown, which has faced challenges from urban development in the past. The rally underscores the ongoing tension between community interests and large-scale development projects as activists call for more inclusive planning processes that prioritize the voices of local residents.
The mayor announced her endorsement of the arena, and it was not necessarily a surprise to those of us who've been fighting this for 2 years, but it was still disappointing. I think still shocking to think that, a mayor who was supposed to represent the entire city would choose to support this project that could destroy Chinatown.
There's less of a retail shop in Chinatown. Mostly it's just food, restaurants, bubble teas, and a lot of them are franchises. They're a big corporation. They have investors. They have money backing them up. We don't. We just are a small family. We're going to lose a lot of the people. That's our customer base, because, like I said, we're more targeting towards community people who are interested in our products. But the people that the arena is going to attract is mostly people who's going to want to drink, eat. That's not our clientele.
Honestly, when I was a little boy growing up here, I used to go to the gallery with my grandmother. It was fantastic. There was lots of shoppers, the streets were filled. But ever since the Fashion District Mall has been implemented, the mall's been on decline. So yeah, I think the arena's a good thing. I think it'll bring more activity to Market Street. This is, after all, the oldest district for shopping in Philadelphia. I think that it deserves a revamp.
I want it to happen, but I also don't want to get rid of Chinatown. But I feel like it could also be great because I feel like this is where the harder Philly is. So just to have the Sixers Stadium and the Eagles Stadium, all that down here, I feel like that'd be a good fit.
So yeah, this is not the first time, or second time, or even third time that Chinatown has been targeted. Chinatown was cut in half by the Vine Street Expressway. They tried to put a prison here, a casino, a stadium. These are all exploitative projects that really just aren't about the community. So this arena is yet another project like that, but we're also only 2 years into this fight. I think the developers want everyone to give up. They want everyone to think it's a done deal. Nowhere near that. The mayor announced her endorsement of the arena.
Police in Rome used tear gas and water cannons to disperse violent demonstrators during a large pro-Palestinian protest. This event was part of the series of demonstrations held in major European cities and around the world, where tens of thousands called for a ceasefire as the first anniversary of the October 7th Hamas attacks on Israel approaches. The protests reflect heightened tensions and a strong demand for action regarding the ongoing conflict in Gaza. Hundreds of people, many of them female victims of sexual violence, gathered for a silent march in support of the Giselle Pellicourt in the southern French village of Mazan, where the now septuagenarian was drugged and raped by her husband Dominic and dozens of strangers recruited on the internet. Dominic Pellicourt is now on trial in a case that has sparked horror and protest across France.
Au jour où ils s'en ont pris à mes enfants, et je ne pouvais plus, ils voulaient me tuer. J'avais oublié où était la limite de ma douleur. Travail du monde. Eh bien, je ne suis pas qu'une mère, je ne suis pas qu'une maman, je suis une femme. Pour certaines, ça va rien. J'ai quand même...
Siempre como el bajo, siempre va como el bajo. Ella mandó.
Au jour où ils s'en ont pris à mes enfants, et je ne pouvais plus, ils voulaient me tuer. J'avais oublié où était la limite de ma douleur. Travail du monde. Eh bien, je ne suis pas qu'une mère, je ne suis pas qu'une maman, Je suis une femme. Pour certaines,
Ça va rien. J'ai quand même.
Well, these are the latest world updates. Stay tuned to CVR English News.